Hello and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial we're gonna do this very easy stitch, one row repeat. The stitch is reversible, so for a blanket or even a scarf I think it's nice. These are the sides of the work. It's quite nice. If you want to make a blanket with this and you don't like the sides, well, you're gonna put a border. But this is well, it's quite thick if you are to use this for a blanket, yeah, or the yarn that you're going to use. This is quite thick. I have to use 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, yeah, with this yarn. Okay, well, this stitch, of course, I have on Nati. I have tutorial how to do this in round for a hat or a headband, if you like. Okay, with this stitch I'm gonna work now with a 4.0 millimeter crochet hook. You can use your recommendation for your yarn, the crochet hook. With this stitch we're gonna chain even numbers. So if you are to work this flat the way I'm gonna show you now, you're gonna use even numbers. If you are to do this in rounds, you're gonna chain an odd number, yeah? Okay, so I have here 12. So I have the even number. We're gonna skip the first chain, and into the second chain from the hook we're gonna do a single crochet. So this row is gonna be single crochet in each chain until we finish this row. So move to the next chain and do a single crochet, and so on. And if you do a scarf or a blanket, you're gonna finish when your work is done and you have to close the last row, you're gonna do a single crochet in each stitch. It's a very easy stitch. It's gonna eat some yarn. Now depends on the size of the project. Be ready with enough yarn that you will finish the project, and you don't need to go to the store to get more yarn. Okay, so the first row is going to be single crochet in each chain. Now we're going to chain one, turn your work, and now into the first stitch, we're going to go in there and we're going to start the stitch. So you go into the first stitch and you're going to chain one, yarn over the hook, go into the same stitch, the first one, pull up a loop. You're gonna have 4 loops, then pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain one. It's very important to chain this one, yeah? And now we're gonna skip one stitch, and into the next stitch we're gonna do the same. Go in there, gonna pick up a loop, then chain one, yarn over the hook, go back again into the same stitch, pull up a loop, 4 loops on the hook, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain one. And again we're going to skip the next stitch, and into the next we're going to do the same. Yarn over the hook, go back again, pull up a loop, 4 loops, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain one. And we're going to do like this. Skip the next stitch, and into the next we're going to repeat. Chain one. And again we're going to skip the next stitch, and into the next we're going to repeat. We're going to pull up a loop, chain one through that loop, yarn over the hook, go back again into the same stitch, pull up a loop, 4 loops, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, then chain one. And you're going to be left with 2 stitches. We're going to skip the next, and into the next, the last one, we're going to do the same, yeah? I'm going to go in there and you're gonna do the same. Well, make sure that you pick up 2 loops from that stitch, the last one, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain one. And now I'm gonna turn your work. It's gonna look like this. Okay. Now as you can see we have this space here. It's like a line. You have like a small tiny puff, and then you have a space here. It's a line here and the puff, let's say. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go into that space. We'll go into that space there, and we're gonna repeat. We're gonna do the same. Chain 1, and again you have like a small puff here, let's say, and you have that space, the line, the space between this line and this puff. So you're gonna go into that, into this. I'm gonna do the same. It's a very easy stitch, goes really fast, might not eat so much yarn like other stitches. So as you can see, it's this space here. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna skip this puff, let's say, and you're gonna go into that space. If you want a little bit open work, then you're gonna work with a little bit bigger the crochet hook, the number, than the yarn recommends. If you want to be a little bit loose and some space. So again, I'm gonna go into this space right there. I'm gonna pull up a loop through that, yarn over the hook, go back again, pull up a loop, 4 loops, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1, and at the end here we have the stitch right here, and we're gonna do the same. Gonna go in there, pick up a loop, pull the yarn through that loop, yarn over the hook, go back again into that last stitch, 4 loops, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1, turn your work, and you're gonna repeat. So it looks like this. This yarn I think recommends 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, but I'm working with a 4.0 just to show you if you want a little bit loose, yeah, some space. If you want tight this, then work with exactly the number that the crochet hook recommends, the yarn. So again, the first one is here, the space, you have it right there, yeah. So we're gonna go into that space, and we're gonna repeat. This is the 1 row, repeat. You go back again, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1, and you're gonna skip this puff, whatever, and the space is right here. And go back again, and you move to the next, the space is right there. This stitch looks really nice if you work in rounds also. You just remember that you have to chain odd number when you work in rounds with this stitch. You move to the next space, chain 1. You're always gonna chain 1 because this chain 1, it forms that space, yeah, that you go through. So the last stitch is here, right here, and you're gonna do the same. And go back again, and then you're gonna chain 1 at the end when you finish the row, and you're gonna turn your work, and you're gonna repeat. It looks like this, and the stitch is reversible, so it's a little bit loose than this one, the sample, because this one I did with exactly the crochet hook that the yarn recommends, so it's a little bit tighter. So if I'm to open, you will see these are like, you know, you see a little bit some space, but not much, so it's quite tight, compact, yeah. So it depends on you which way you like, a little bit looser, maybe for a spring or a autumn blanket, or you want to make a scarf or a blouse. But for a blouse, maybe a vest or a sweater would be nice because it's quite thick, yeah, after you work this stitch. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.